This week I'm going to show you how to make one of my all-time favourite dishes that I had in America. It's pulled pork. That was like a real Homer Simpson moment there. Now, I first had this actually in St. Louis, and I want to say a big thank you to Paul from PM Barbecue, an amazing barbecue place in St. Louis. I'll put all the details to his restaurant, so if anyone's ever out there, go to that restaurant, check it out. Amazing barbecue food. And also Bogart Smokehouse. That's where we had our victory dinner. So I'm going to show you the t-shirt actually. This is the t-shirt from Bogart Smokehouse. Again, I think its reputation is one of the best barbecue places in St. Louis, and we got to eat there. And I now want a smoker in my garden. That's like one of my life goals. It will happen. Okay, so to make pulled pork, it is a bit of a long process, but it's so worth it. And I've tried to get a recipe that kind of makes it easy for everyone, but it does take a bit of preparation. I've got myself a lovely big piece of pork shoulder or pork butt. This is about 2 kilos, so that's about 4 pounds in weight. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop it into a bowl, ready for later. Making pulled pork, it's all about marinating the pork overnight and also the spice rub, because it needs a bit of flavour. So for my spice rub, I'm using smoked paprika, tablespoon of that. I've got some cayenne pepper as well, about half a tablespoon of this. Some onion granules, 1 tablespoon. Right, we need lots of salt, again a good tablespoon of that. Some ground black pepper. And now for some sugar. So I've got some soft brown sugar, and you want about 2 tablespoons. Mix those all together, and that is your spice rub. Now to marinate the pork. I have a bottle of ale. I know there are many different ways of doing this, and some people like to use vinegar. I need to try that one out actually, but I do love marinating this in ale. That's how I do mine. So I'm going to pour literally the whole bottle across, all over, and we're going to leave the pork to sit in this overnight. Okay, so you need to prepare this the day before. I'm going to add a big spoonful of the spice rub mixture into the marinade. We'll save the rest for tomorrow. Now I'm also going to add some thyme, some nice fresh thyme I've got. So just pop a few sprigs in, and some cloves of garlic, a good few cloves. I'm going to just crush them, smash them really, and pop them in. Squish those garlic cloves, pop them in. Now, all we need to do after it's marinated is get it into a nice baking tray. So my baking tray here. Wow, look at that. Big hunk of pork. Right, we're gonna pat it with some kitchen towel now, because we want to put the rest of the spice rub onto the pork. And it sticks a bit better once it's a bit dry. Now, we're gonna add the spice rub, the rest of the spice rub that you made yesterday. So sprinkle that all over the meat. We're going to put it all over the meat side and the fat side. And you've got to get your hands dirty, you can rub it in. Now all those bits of thyme and the cloves of garlic we're going to leave in when it roasts. I want those flavours in there as well. Give it a good kind of massage in. Turn it over. When it goes in the oven, you want the fat side up. That's going to keep the meat from drying out. And I'm just going to put the rest of that rub on. For me, it's all about the marinating and the spice rub. All those flavours together. Get nice and messy. Okay, a bit of oil on top as well. Now we cover with tin foil. Now it's ready to go into a smoker. If you're lucky enough to have a smoker, then I'm really quite jealous. And one day I'll have one. If you don't have a smoker, you can use your oven. Now I've got my oven set to 120 degrees C, which is 240 Fahrenheit, so very, very low. And we're going to leave it in the oven for about probably about 7 or 8 hours. Now the rule of thumb is about an hour and a half or 2 hours per pound in weight. And yes, I'm going to check it after about 6 hours. And I like to normally put this in the oven before I go to bed. And then you'll wake up in the morning with the house smelling like pulled pork. And then you know it's going to be a good day. In true Blue Peter style, here's one I made earlier. A lot earlier, in fact last night. Okay, so I've got my pulled pork, a different one, which I've had cooking away for 7 hours. Ooh. Dun, dun, dun. The moments of truth. These moments excite me, you know, because I love pulled pork. Now I'm just pulling the fat away. Don't need that big fatty bit on top. But what it's done is it's protected the meat and kept it nice and juicy. And oh my days. So you want it just to shred. Oh, it just falls away. It just shreds beautifully without any ease. Just a little tug on the fork and it should all crumble away. And that, my friends, is pulled pork. Oh, one of my favorites. Okay, I'm going to put this now on a plate. And imagine if I had a smoker. Amazing. And it still needs to be a bit juicy. That's why the fat on the top is good. But it's literally melt in your mouth pork. We're getting so hungry here. Are you hungry, Matt?
Starving.
Oh. Yum, yum, yum. Now, a favourite way to serve pulled pork is with a nice soft roll. You could put some butter on if you want to. I'm just going to literally go straight in with the pile of pulled pork. And then coleslaw, whip some up, cabbage, carrots, mayonnaise, bit of onion. I think I've got a recipe for coleslaw. And then some of my badass barbecue sauce. Okay, a bit of the badass barbecue sauce. Not too much because it is very strong. And this, my friends, is how I like to eat my pulled pork. Okay, I'm gonna have a bite, and then I'm gonna get you, Matt. You're gonna have to have a bite as well. No. Oh my god, so exciting. Okay. Oh. Sorry. Pulled pork is definitely one of my favourite recipes. And I hope you all enjoy this. Please do let me know. And I want to say a big shout out to people in St. Louis. We love you. There was Charlie. Who else was there? Everyone from the Sir Dykes, PM Barbecues, Bogart Smokehouse. I love it. I'm going to be coming back to St. Louis one day. So, bye.